So today, I was thinking there was a pose. It's a toe balance pose that is done in Bikram yoga. It's quite a challenging pose, and I haven't done it for quite some time. So we'll see how it goes. It's a balance pose. You're on your toes, and it's difficult to keep your balance. But we might go into it from standing pigeon. So we'll be doing some hip work, some twists, and then we'll see if we can balance on our toes on one foot. Obviously on 2 feet it's easy, 1 foot's more challenging. We'll start off, we'll do some core work, so let's start off on our backs. Onto your back, and just have the feet on the ground, knees bent, head is nicely supported, and we're just going to start off with windshield wipers, just taking the knees from side to side. You can close the eyes, maybe help to relax. So we're moving the legs with the breath. Inhale as the knees come up, exhale as they go down. Going slowly, trying to do long breaths, pretty slow movement so you get a little bit more stretch, get deeper into the stretch. Getting into a rhythm. And this is going to work the spine a little bit, get a little bit more mobility there. It's going to strengthen the back muscles, the obliques, the glutes. Nice one to do. A little bit more challenging if you want, or you continue doing the windshield wipers with the feet on the ground. But this one, the legs are up to the ceiling. Try and keep 90 degrees between the legs and the torso. And I take the arms out a little bit wider, and we take the legs over from side to side, maybe about halfway down. And the arms and the hands pushing into the ground as you lower, and they help you bring the legs back up. So my arms are out about 45 degrees from the body. I bring the legs a little, for me a bit over halfway down, but just take them far enough so you can feel the challenge, but not so far that it's too difficult. Again, we're trying to move with the breath. Inhale as the legs come up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. And maybe you can start taking the legs a little bit lower as the back gets warmed up and you get into that rhythm. 2 or 3 more each side. And then we bring the legs back to center. We lower the legs almost to the ground, but not quite. And we take the hands behind the head, and we're pushing the lower back into the ground like crazy. And we're breathing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We lower. Resting the head again, we pull the feet in, and then we start pulling the knees in close, touch the ground with the toes, and then the knees come back in again. A little bit of core work here. I'm a great fan of core work, getting that core strength. Helps with the yoga poses. Helps keep the back nice and safe. So usually I'll do about 20 of these. I'm not really counting, but hopefully we'll end up about 20. And then if you want to go a little deeper, a little bit more challenging, we straighten one leg opposite knee close and we just switch. So it's almost like you're cycling the legs, but keeping the legs nice and low, synchronizing the movement, working that core. Now the core's engaged all the time. And we're going to add the arms. So we're trying to synchronize the movement of the arms and the legs. So as one knee comes in, the opposite arm is over the head, possibly touching the ground with the fingers. You don't have to. Main thing is to keep the back nice and low. Again, maybe about 20 of these. Another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we slow all the way down. Up and down into bridge. Feet are walked in. Feet are parallel. We're going to move with the breath. As we inhale, we push the lower back into the ground and we lift those hips up to the ceiling. Exhale as we come down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Using the strength of the core, using the glutes to bring yourself back up. Remember to keep those legs nice and parallel as you come up. Keeps the back safe. It works those legs a little bit more. Next time you're in bridge, hold the bridge pose. Interlace the hands. Try and walk the arms to hands a little closer, keeping the arms and hands pushed into the ground. Gaze is kept towards the ceiling, so we're not turning the head from side to side. We want to keep the neck safe. Glue the feet to the ground, pull the feet in towards you, maybe lift the hips up a bit higher if the back is okay with that, and breathe. Then we come all the way down. We pull the knees in, a little bit of rocking. Keep the knees pulled in, bring the hands outside of the legs, isometric work here, trying to squeeze those legs together. Lots of arm strength for about 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make fists. The fists are inside the legs, inside the thigh, just below the knee. Try and separate them. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take hold of the back of the legs. This time we're trying to pull the legs in nice and close. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finally, pushing the legs away. Palms high up the thigh, front of the thigh. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come down, totally relax. That last one in particular, you can feel that core working all the time. Not only the arms and the legs, but that really strong core work on that one. Bring the right leg up to the ceiling. Extend the leg, hold onto the back of the leg. Just point and flex the foot a few times. Getting a little bit more mobility there. Giving the ankle a bit of attention. The foot a bit of attention. We circle the foot in one direction. And we circle in the other direction. And then angle the foot maybe 45 degrees from, if that's 0, if the toes are pointing towards the ceiling, that's 0, so they come halfway in, that's 45, and then we try and create space between the toes, and you're pushing what the ball of the foot, I guess that's called, towards the ceiling. If you picture somebody wearing a high heel, it's the shape of a foot that fits in a high heel. And then we switch. Point and flex the other foot. And then circle one direction. Circle in the other direction. Then we angle the foot at 45, trying to curl the toes in, trying to separate the toes, and release. Bring the outer of the right ankle onto the left leg, keeping the left foot on the ground. Place your right hand onto the inside of the right thigh. Push the leg away from you, opening that right thigh, that right hip. Breathe, work with the breath. Switch legs out of the other ankle. Push that leg away from you. Pull both knees in, hold onto the back of the legs, rock yourself up, pull the feet in, come into puppy dog. Haven't done this for a while. So we keep the knees directly underneath the hips and we extend the arms forward and we bring the head down to the ground, towards the ground. You're pushing the hands into the mat, you're pulling the armpits towards the ground. You're breathing. So you get a good stretch across the upper chest. Arms are working, you're strengthening the arms. Walk the hands in. Tuck the toes. Full downward facing dog. Bringing the hips up and back. Same action. So that's the puppy dog. If you have any wrist issues, puppy dog is a nice alternative. If you have wrist issues in down dog. Again, thumb, index finger pushed into the ground, little finger pushed in, armpits towards the ground. You're looking between the feet. You're breathing. Let's walk the dog a little bit. So we're just bending one knee as we straighten the opposite leg. We'll bring up the right leg, extended down dog. We're trying to get a straight line all the way through from the hands up to that top foot. We stack those hips, getting a bit of a hip opening. Opening the inside of the hip, bending the top knee. And then we switch. Other leg comes up, extended down dog, we stack the hips. So what we're going to do next, we're going to go into star pose. So bring the right leg up again. If you don't like star pose, you can do side plank. We're bringing the knee forward, keeping it off the ground. And I like to shoot the leg over. And I like to line the foot up with the hands. Hips are high, and you're opening up towards the ceiling. We unflip. And we extend the other leg. We stack the hips a little bit. Extend, and then we do star in the other direction. We come out of star briefly into child's pose. So another pose that we haven't done for a while is flip the dog. So we start off with that hip opener, bringing the right leg up, we open the hip and we just let that top foot flip over, and again we're opening up. So you're on 2 feet and 1 hand. And then we unflip, we shoot the other leg up, and we flip to the other side. And we come out, top foot comes down, and we're back into child's pose. So what we're going to do, we're going to make that into a little sequence, which I do from time to time. So come back into your hands and knees. Downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up, extended down dog. Stack the hips. Extend the leg, come into star pose. Opening up. Top hand comes down, extend the same leg. Stack the hips. Flip the dog. Opening up. Unflip. Extend it down the other side. Stack the hips. Star pose. Opening up the chest. Top hand comes down. Extend the leg. Stack the hips. Flip the dog. Opening up. Unflip. Top foot joins the bottom foot. Knees come down. And we're back into child's pose. Take a few breaths. Come back up. So let's do a little bit of flow, a bit more flow, different flow. And I'm just going to change my mat here. Get rid of the shoes. We come to the front of the mat. Inhale as you bring the arms up. Look up. Exhale as you fold forward and down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We come into plank. Knees down, chin chest forward and down. Inhaling into cobra. Exhale, down dog. Hold down dog for a few breaths. And then we look forward, we walk forward between the hands. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, you come up and then back into mountain. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Little bit of a backward bend. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We're in plank. Knees, chin, chest to ground, or chaturanga, but not if you've got delicate shoulders. Downward facing dog, couple of breaths. We look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up, exhale folding forward. This time bend the knees, come into chair, and then come all the way up. Inhale, sweep the arms up, keep the arms up. I'm interlacing my fingers and I'm pointing the index finger towards the ceiling, trying to get length, and then just lean over to your right side, getting a side stretch. Keeping the shoulders in one plane, one shoulder no more forward than the other shoulder. Going a little deeper with the breath. Inhale, we come up, reach up, exhale over to the other side. Inhale, we come up. This time, try and keep the arms either side of the head. So almost trying to touch the ears as you take a backward bend, moving the head, the arms together, engaging the glutes. Go as far back as is comfortable. If you feel any niggle in the back, don't go quite that deep. Just come up a little bit more. And then we come up, and then next we hinge forward and we bring the hands down towards the ground. As we bend the knees, we take the feet apart a little. We take hold of the big toes. And I'm going to keep contact between the belly and the legs. Head is totally relaxed, you're looking between the legs. So you're pulling yourself towards the ground. You can feel the legs with your belly, and then you're just going to try and straighten the legs a little bit more, getting a little bit more stretch at the back of the legs, working those hamstrings. And then we come back up, bending the knees more, we're back in chair, and then we come all the way up. Come back to the front of the mat. Inhale into chair. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. Plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through, coming into warrior one. And we take a bit of a backward bend. On your next exhale, warrior two. And maybe go a little deeper into the pose. Reverse warrior. And then we flow to the other side. Plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the other leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. We're in warrior one. On the other side, we take a breath or two. And then exhaling into warrior two. Reverse warrior. And then into plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling up dog. Exhale down dog. Breathing. Look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up. Exhale folding forward, knees bent. We're back in chair, and then we come all the way up. We're going to add extended side angle pose to that sequence. Inhale, chair. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. Plank. Chaturanga. Engage the core. Downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. Warrior one, inhaling. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, coming into extended side angle. And hold this pose for a little while. Straight line from the top hand to that back foot. You're opening the chest slightly. You're breathing. We come back into warrior two, reverse warrior, and then we flow to the other side. Plank, chaturanga, inhaling to up dog, exhale down dog. Inhale the left leg up, exhale we sweep that foot through, warrior one on the other side. Exhale into warrior two, inhale reverse warrior. Exhale into extended side angle, and we hold this one. We're back into warrior two, reverse warrior, and then we flow into plank, and we're going to hold plank pose. Forearm plank if it's a problem with your wrists, or you can make fists with the hands. You're looking directly between the hands. If you glance at the feet, you're trying to get the toes directly under the heels. Don't let the hips sink. Don't let that area between the shoulder blades sink. You're pulling the belly in. Side plank, right hand to center, stack the feet, forearm plank if you prefer, bottom foot down if you want, reach up, top leg up for more challenge. We're back in plank, and then side plank on the other side. Top leg up maybe, it's up to you. We're back into plank. Whole body comes forward, drop to chaturanga, inhaling into up dog, really make it a good up dog, engaging the core, squeezing the glutes, keep them squeezed, keep the core engaged as you go into down facing dog. And then we look forward, we walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up, exhale folding forward, relaxing the head, knees bent, we come into chair, and then we come all the way up. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale folding forward. We're going to work our way to a lunge. Inhale halfway up, exhale we plant the hands, plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Inhale the right leg up, exhale sweep that foot through, back knee comes down. We're in a low lunge, and we're not moving that front foot, but we're trying to pull it towards the back knee. As we bring the arms up, gives us a little more stretch in the front of that back leg, and we get ourselves into a twist. So we're bringing that arm, we're trying to bring the arm outside the leg, and you're pushing the arm into the leg, and you bring the palms together. And if you want to bring the back knee off, you can, a bit more challenging, into a crescent twist, and breathe. We lower the knee, we switch, we can just do a little switch, lunge other side, pulling that front foot towards the back knee, sweeping those arms up, looking up, and then into the twist. And we come out of that, and then we're back into plank, chaturanga, inhale up dog, exhale down dog, look forward, walk forward between the hands, inhale halfway up, exhale folding forward, knees bent, we're back in chair, and then we come all the way up. Tree pose. You're on the right foot, you bring the left foot inside that standing leg, below or above the knee, just don't push into the knee joint. I take my time here, I bring the palms together, then I can make sure my shoulders are relaxed, length across the collarbone, arms up whenever you're ready. Reaching up, I like to reach up high and then slightly pull the shoulders down. Do whatever feels good. Working the standing leg, you can feel those muscles working. You're breathing, you're not holding the breath. Try this pose on your own sometime. See how long you can hold it. Maybe you can hold it 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3, 4 minutes aside, and release. I have held it for 4 minutes plus, but not recently. You're on the other foot. So sometimes it gets, if you're holding pose a long time, sometimes things get a little bit tedious. So I'll hold it like this, and then I'll play around with the arms. I'll bring the hands like this. Do different things with the arms. Make it a little bit more interesting. If you're holding it a long time, reaching with the arms, shoulders down, quads working, especially the inner quads. If your foot is above the knee on the inside of the leg, you should be able to feel that inner quad working. Great way to strengthen the leg, helps keep your balance. And then we release. Okay, standing pigeon. We've got enough time for standing pigeon and a bit of a toe balance. So we're going to be on our right foot, and the left foot is on top, and we're just resting the hands on that top leg. We don't have a block here, but if you want to block and you want to bring the hands lower, that's fine. And we're getting a stretch on the outside of the hip. I'm just going to bring my fingertips down to the ground, but if that's too much, just bring them onto a block. I'm just lightly touching the ground with my fingers. I'm trying not to round the back too much. I'm trying to get closer to that top leg. It's almost like I'm resting the ribs on that leg. We come out, and we're going to switch over to the other side. Normally I would do a few more hip openers before this, but we lost a bit of time today, didn't we? And then we slowly come down. This top foot I keep active by pulling the toes in, pushing the heel out. That keeps the knee safe. And I can feel good opening of that top hip. And then we come out. So the toe balance, I start off the same way. So I'm going to switch to the first foot again. So I'm on my left foot, you can be on your right foot. I bring the hands down, and then I come onto my toes. And I position the heel. So I'm resting on my heel and I'm on my toes. So my heel is sort of pushed into my perineum. And then I just try and focus. I'm not looking at the screen, I'm just trying to focus on the ground. And then I'm going to try and bring my palms together into a toe balance. It's not easy. This is one of the poses that's done early on in the Bikram series, the Hot Yoga series, and I've always found it a challenge. No, balance isn't going to work. Only for a moment. And then typically you'll come out the way you went in. I cheated a little bit. Shake everything out. Move those shoulders. Other side. You're on your left foot. We come into that like the standing pigeon first. So this foot is nicely flexed. And we're bringing the hands down, and we come onto our toes. Just letting yourself sink into that heel. Breathe. And you're bringing the palms together. Trying to keep the balance. Make it a little bit longer that time. If you come out, that's fine. Just come out and just try again. Yeah, a little bit better that side. And then we come out of the pose. and we shake everything out. Back into a standing position. Take the right arm, extend it forward, pull that arm in towards you. Go slowly into the stretch. Feel the stretch, but it's not too intense. Inhale. Exhale, start pulling that arm in a little closer. We switch, pulling the other arm in. Just try and feel those muscles relaxing, letting go, letting you get deeper into the stretch. Working with the body, not fighting it. And then release and shake everything out. So I've realised why it's a quiet class. It's Memorial Weekend, so people are probably doing stuff with families this weekend. Come onto your back. Let me just position this screen again. Pull both knees in. Rock. Come into happy baby. You want to keep the chin tucked, keep lengthening the back of the neck. So if your chin is up, maybe you need to be on a pillow or something, or something under your head. Take hold of the big toes. So I've got my first two fingers thumb around the big toe, and I'm going to try and open the legs into a V position as I pull the shoulders away from the ears, stretching out the inside of the legs. Try and keep the tailbone low. It's almost like you're trying to hollow the back. Breathe. We take hold of the back of the legs. Knees in close, we lift the head up, we rock into boat. You can keep hold of the back of the legs, especially if you have a back issue, back's weak, or you have a niggly back. Keep hold of the legs. Next challenge, arms either side of the legs. Next is the legs straight and the legs higher. You're trying to keep the back as neutral as possible. We're trying not to round the back. You breathe in. We lower almost to the ground. So we did this early on. Doesn't hurt to do it a second time. We support the head. You're pushing the back into the ground. The 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we come into a full body stretch, trying to get as much length as possible. And then into a side stretch, getting into that banana shape. And then stretch out the other side of the body. recenter and come into Shavasana. Bring the arms either side of you, palms face up. Close the eyes and just focus on the breath. And let yourself just sink into the mat. Keep attention on the breath. Make sure you're not holding tension anywhere. And then start to take slightly deeper breaths. And then just stretch out the hands and the feet. And relax. Again, stretch out the hands and feet. Relax. One more time. Stretching out the hands and the feet, trying to get space between the fingers, space between the toes. And just relax. Walk the feet in. And just roll over onto your side. Taking a breath or two with the eyes closed. And then gently push yourself into a seated position. Inhale as you bring the arms up. Exhale as they come down. Inhale as the arms come up. Exhale down. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Bringing the hands to the forehead. Namaste.